He didn't need a miracle. He needed a mindset shift. And that changed everything. Jason Cole wasn't a bad guy. He worked hard, paid his bills, smiled when he needed to, and did what the world expected of him. But deep down, he felt stuck, like he was running on a treadmill, working hard but getting nowhere. Every morning felt the same. He'd wake up, sigh, check his phone, and scroll through pictures of people doing better, traveling, thriving, laughing. Meanwhile, Jason dragged himself out of bed, wondering, why does life feel like it's passing me by? He blamed the world, blamed the economy, blamed his past. But one thing he never questioned was his own thinking. Until the day everything fell apart. Jason was let go from his job after 5 years of loyal work. No warning. No thank you. Just a final paycheck and a handshake. He stood outside the building, resume in his hand, heart pounding, mind spinning. This is it, he thought. I've lost everything. But as he sat on a park bench that afternoon, something unusual happened. An old man walking by noticed Jason's expression, paused, and said, "You look like someone who's trapped by their own thoughts." Jason looked up, confused. "Excuse me." The old man smiled kindly. "Your life won't change until your mind does." That sentence stuck with Jason all day. Your life won't change until your mind does. Could it be true? Had he been waiting for life to change instead of changing himself? That night, Jason opened a fresh notebook and wrote 5 words. Change your thinking. Change everything. And that's when it all began. The next morning, Jason did something different. He didn't reach for his phone. He didn't complain. He didn't say, "Here we go again." Instead, he stood in front of his mirror and whispered, "I am in control of my thoughts today." At first, it felt silly, forced, like pretending to be someone he wasn't. But he kept doing it, every day. Change doesn't come from comfort, he wrote. It comes from commitment. Jason started reading books about mindset, resilience, and gratitude. He learned that every result begins with a thought. That negativity isn't truth, it's just a habit. He began catching himself when he thought things like, "I'll never succeed. I'm too old to start over. This is just who I am." And every time he caught a limiting belief, he replaced it with a stronger one. "I'm not stuck. I'm starting. It's never too late to rewrite my story. What I believe shapes what I become." Slowly, his world began to shift. Not because life magically improved, but because his mindset did. He went from unemployed to self-employed. He turned his passion for writing into a freelancing gig. First, it was small, just a few clients. But it was his. And more importantly, it was built from a place of belief, not fear. He no longer said, "I have to work." He said, "I get to create today." He no longer saw challenges as setbacks. He saw them as setups for growth. One evening, months later, he stood in the same park where the old man first spoke to him. This time, he had a laptop in his bag, a list of clients, and a heart full of gratitude. A teenage boy sat on the same bench, head in his hands, overwhelmed. Jason smiled. "Tough day." The boy nodded. "Feels like my life's falling apart." Jason sat beside him, paused, and then said, "I used to feel that way too." "What changed?" the boy asked. Jason looked out at the sky and replied, "My thoughts. That's where it all starts. You can't live a positive life with a negative mind. If you want to change your life, change what you say to yourself when no one's listening." That boy might forget the conversation, but Jason would never forget how it started. For him, it was the moment he took responsibility for his mindset. Here's what Jason learned, and what he now teaches others. Your thoughts are not facts. Challenge them. You become what you repeatedly tell yourself. Choose wisely. Your mind is a garden. What you plant daily grows eventually. Fear is loud, but so is faith when you give it a voice. Jason isn't a millionaire. He doesn't own a yacht or a mansion, but he wakes up every day with energy, purpose, and peace. He smiles more, lives slower, thinks better, and he shares one message with the world. Don't wait for life to change. Change your mind, and life will follow.